Okay. So, yes, great, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this live inspirational series today. And all the audiences who are there live or on the replay, welcome you all to the first series that we are having today on the Facebook Live. And we're going to talk about gender biases, how to cope up with gender biases and gender stereotypes. And today we have with us Bhavna Shah, who is she's one of the women of substance who's making news in the corporate world. And today she's going to talk about how to cope with this pressing issue that we women mostly face in the corporate world in our careers of facing the gender biases and the stereotypes. And but I'm sure the audience is going to stick around because she's going to share some very important insights and valuable ways to counter this and to circumvent this issue that we all face in the corporate world today. Before we start, I would just like to say a few words about our guest today and what an honor it is to have you with us today, Bhavna. Bhavna Shah is the regional head of India and Sri Lanka of the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, Kuala Lumpur. She's also the President, India Malaysian Business Council of Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In the past decade, her industry has on her conferred with a string of awards: Women Entrepreneur of the Year in 2009 and Global Person of the Year in 2018. And she's been awarded by the Indian Medical Association for overall contribution in 2010. Yahoo India is one of the 7 women achievers of the country 2018 and featured in the business world in 2018 again. And the very recent iconic Women Making a Better World for All at the Women Economic Forum just last month. And the list just carries on, Bhavna Shah. What a pleasure indeed to have you with us today and to be talking about this topic, which is so relevant to us.
Thank you so very much, Namrata. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here with you today. You're such a sweet and modest person, being the first woman pilot, heli pilot, to have been on the fiercest battlefield on the earth at Siachen. That's something. So you're made of steel, and it's a great pleasure and honor to be here with you today.
Oh my God, thanks. Likewise,
Yeah,
Bhavna. I think it's all mutual, right? So
correct,
wonderful.
correct.
So before we start, Bhavna, if you allow me, I'll just cover a few stats that exist, and these stats are a result of a research that has happened. So the
Okay.
research says that out of the Forbes 500 top companies in the world, those with the designation and title of CEO, COOs, board of directors, only 6% are women. And most notably, only 2% CEOs of the Forbes top 500 companies are women. And only 16% are members of the board of directors. And that's really astonishing because research also says that both men and women are equally capable of being good leaders because leadership is a set of acquired skills and behaviors. So, and it's said that if with the current change of pace, it will take 285 years for women to come at par with men. And it's really, really astonishing. And if that be the case, the question is, what is holding women back? And when we say that, the answer is very evident because gender bias and gender stereotypes that have been existing in the society for ages and centuries together, and probably I think we've been putting it under the carpet for very long. That is a main contributor of why women are lagging behind and why they're going to take so many, in fact, so many centuries to come at par with men. So, to start with, Bhavna Shah, I would like to know, in your experience as a woman and a mother of 2 grown-up daughters, a corporate leader, please share your story of success. What worked for you? What did not? How did you overcome your challenges on your way? And how did you cope with your issues of gender biases and stereotypes that came your way? Let the audience hear you out.
Um, yes, Namrata, it's a To be very honest, to start with, yes, the statistics that you mentioned are very, very alarming, and that is the reason that all of us. That's why I really a big kudos to you, especially for taking up a challenge like that to address it by this platform of the successful woman. I think this was about time that people like you come together and address this issue. It's not going to be an easy task, but you have to keep doing that. Now, my personal journey, I still don't know where do I stand. Yes, you mentioned the string of awards and recognitions, but I still believe success is very, very relative. You see, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, success may mean different to different people at different times. Like for an author to publish his book and his or her book and to make it a bestseller, that's success. For an influencer to have a number of followers, that is success.
Yeah.
For commonly most people, the common benchmark is to material success, a car and house and a foreign trips, that is success. For me, the definition keeps changing over the time. So, as I said, awards and accolades, they keep coming my way, but that's only a kind of encouragement to do more, to do better, uh, especially sitting on a nice Sunday evening and chatting with you on a topic that you and I am so passionate about. That to me is success. And
Yeah.
how my journey or how did I overcome this? Yes, it was not easy for me either. I read about you that it was your a dream to be in uniform and it was your dream to fly. I can't say that it was my childhood dream to grow up one day and start selling oil. No. To me, I thought there are two ways of taking my life forward. Either I go for what I want, or I do the best with what I have. So wherever I am, I'm giving my best. That's the way I am handling it. And my graph has not been like straight up like that. I have taken one step forward, then I had to take two steps backwards. I have taken sabbatical in my life when my kids were too small. And when I joined this industry, I was a complete greenhorn. Right from the tea, I had to first thing, even during my job interview, after my interview, I had to go home and see what cooking oil do we use at home. So so I started from there, and it's been a long way. And one of the awards that you mentioned, Global Person of the Year,
Yeah.
that award is very, very special for me because actually the title of the award is Global Man of the Year. And they had to change the title to confer that award on me. So that is something very special for me that after so many years, they found a female who can merit it. So so
What
yes,
an
check
achievement.
devices.
And the audience, if you are, I'm so, engrossed in her story. If her story is inspiring you, please tag in with hearts and emojis. And I can see Julia and Rajat and Emma joining us. Bhavna, sorry to interrupt you. I just couldn't stop because I was getting so inspired listening to your story. And I just want the audience to just give their reactions. And yeah, so sorry. Yeah, please continue.
No, no, please go ahead. So that's the whole idea of being here today on this platform. That by my talking, by your talking, by sharing our stories, if we could inspire even a single female, or
Yeah.
for that matter even men, if they can make these changes at their workplace, yes, I'm ready to talk and share as much as you want. So yes, it's been a long road. There have been lots of ups and downs. Like I said, I also failed. Actually, it wasn't that easy. I had many moments when I didn't know how to go ahead with it, and there should be no hesitance in asking for help. You go for it. First of all, if you believe in something, stand up and ask for it. And if you can't manage it, if you are still convinced, learn on the way, ask for help. It's perfectly all right. And that makes you even a better person, that at least you're trying. So I keep trying, I keep learning, relearning, and upgrading myself, and that's how I keep going ahead.
Wow. So it's what I see is a lot of determination and resilience and not giving up and not being scared of failing because, like you said, if I failed, it's fine because it's not what matters is not how many times you failed. What matters is how many times you got up after you failed. And that's what absolutely you've demonstrated through your journey, Bhavna. And you've been so consistent with it. You've not given up. You faced your challenges with full enthusiasm and determination. And I'm sure that that itself is such an inspiration because the industry that you have prevailed today is absolutely male dominated. If I'm not wrong,
You're
right?
right.
And
Perfectly correct.
you've not
Yes.
just survived there, sustained yourself, you exceeded, you've excelled, you've been an achiever in that field, which itself talks about how much you must have coped with this particular issue of gender bias. So coming to the main subject again, Bhavna, and thanks for sharing this wonderful, inspirational story of yours. Tell me, what in your view is the core reason of this gender bias? And before I do that, there is Archana who has joined us, and there are a couple of more viewers who are there. And viewers, just keep showering your love and appreciation for Bhavna's story by sending her a lot of emojis and smileys. So Bhavna, what is it what do you think is the core reason for this gender bias that prevails in a society today?
I still feel, Namrata, it is a very perception based issue. See, it's so subtle. It could be conscious, it could be subconscious, it could be unconscious bias, but it's there. And probably it starts very early in childhood, right from even before kindergarten, when you're home. We've always seen, usually, mother, one of the parent, taking care of the child, nurturing, selfless love. So, in your mind, and you see the father is usually a figure who goes out, the power dressing, someone who comes in the evening, has lots of things to tell, share, someone bringing the outside world in the house. So, somehow from childhood, the beginning, the babies have seen that the mother is someone who's selfless. She's
Yeah,
that simple woman, caring woman. Then when we go
yeah,
to kindergarten, uh, I have shared this earlier also, and I don't mind repeating it, that we've often seen our community helpers. We have a chart, we have those books which explains it's a postman, there's a farmer. So they always show a man over there, that itself, so no one has told you that this is male dominated, this is a female area, but in the community helpers, farmer, usually it's like in a convent school, you see a dungaree clad, a burly, huge farmer standing with his barnyard in the picture, or maybe a dhoti clad farmer, and the wife and children are somewhere behind. So it's not that they're teaching you that a farmer can only be male, and on the contrary, according to the FAO statistics, about 60% women are engaged in farming jobs, and their
yes,
contribution is very significant. And
absolutely, absolutely.
it's believed that if the women farmer get access to the same resources like their male counterparts, they will be able to produce 4% additional yield. And
Wow,
4% of additional yield in emerging countries, emerging economies like ours, means getting additional food for 100, 120 million people. So that is what inclusion can do.
yeah. Amazing. This really is amazing. These statistics are amazing. And like you said, Bhavna, I remember a lot of times when a boy wants to cry, we are conditioning him since his childhood and saying, don't cry like a girl. So I think this gender bias is not just with females. It's even the
Yeah,
males are equally they are a prey to this
absolutely.
concept, right? Because they are not
Uh,
allowed to express themselves. They can't be emotional because then they are you associate them with being to more of feminism. Similarly with females, so I think it's not just a gender problem. It's a problem of a humanity, and this is
Absolutely.
conditioned ever since we are so well said and such nice examples given, Bhavna. But tell me, where is this problem of gender bias most pronounced? Where is it more in a society, at workplace?
Yeah, in society, probably everywhere. But if you talk about workplace, if you talk about which sector, then I feel STEM. That's already established in science, technology, engineering, and math. We find the women participation is far lower. And now, especially when we realized during COVID times, till last year, we were talking that we are moving into ABCD economy. But now, because of COVID, we have moved even faster, very, very rapidly. We are getting into, by ABCD, I mean artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud
Mhm.
computing, data
Mhm.
analytics. So, here again, the number of women or females is very, very dismal. So, they need to be pushed and they need to be skilled, trained. They say currently what our children are studying, by the time they graduate and they come out, all those 80, 60 to 80% of those jobs will not even be existent.
Absolutely,
So,
that's right.
so these are the two areas where we need to concentrate, focus, and bring them on par.
Okay, well, okay, Bhavna. Now tell me that studies have found that women need to show more competence and more concrete evidence of success to be viewed as being successful as compared to a man. So people are more likely to notice a women's mistakes than they are likely to notice and more likely to notice a woman's mistake and more likely to notice man's success, right? I mean,
Yes,
these are the
very
practical
true.
studies that happened. And one of the unconscious bias, which is one of the main reasons of bias, and main contributor of bias is unconscious bias. And it is
Yes,
said that the unconscious bias is a link between success and masculinity, because women have to, they say women have to walk a fine line between seeing as too feminine and therefore not appropriate for high leadership roles, as and if perceived too masculine, they can also be perceived as having a rough elbow or being too aggressive, right? So now the
yes,
next question to you is that what do you think so biases mostly they occur in subtle form. They could be conscious or unconscious biases. They are, but they're very very obvious in the system. And these
yes.
patterns they exist so strongly, so predominantly, especially in the corporate world. So can you just help us tell women how do they break these patterns that exist?
Um, Firstly, you've raised a very, very important point. The way I would put it is success and likability are negatively proportionate for women, and
Yeah,
success and likability are positively correlated for men. If a man has
absolutely.
been seeing, like, thumping his hand on the table, getting work done, it's like powerful. He's a
Yeah,
go-getter, he wants to achieve it. And same thing, if a woman is trying to do, they say she's too pushy. And I remember Sheryl Sandberg, she often quotes this study about Howard and Heidi. There's this case study, without giving the name and gender, when the same traits are circulated. That there's this guy and he's a go-getter. He functions like this. He's
yeah,
not compromising on work. He wants this on time, etc. He's got fun, sense of humor. He gets his work done. And most of the men, and mind you, Namrata, even women, they say, "Oh, he's amazing. We would like to work for him."
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
the same traits are portrayed for a female. Everyone said she's too abrasive, she is too bossy, she
yeah,
is pushy. So it's the same
yeah,
thing, but when you
yeah,
change it, so how to circumvent this issue? when someone is critically appraising a female and when they say things like she's too pushy, ask for the reason why. See, don't judge or appraise by their personality. We need to do by a particular task. So ask for experience. When some women are facing this challenge at workplace, ask what is the incident? Why did it happen? Is it a case specific? So do not shy away from asking questions. It is very, very common. Now, first of all, we are saying it's happening commonly at workplace, it's happening in society, it's a global thing, there is a gender gap. But Namita, tell me, who are these people? Who is society? Who are the people? It's us. It's you and me. It's all of us, all our viewers right now. There are men, there are women, there are everyone. So all of us, like going back to my previous your previous question also, gender stereotyping. So even positive stereotyping is bad and negative stereotyping is of course not acceptable. But again, how to overcome this behavior at workplace, I think one thing we always have to ask questions. It's easier to fix behavior than personality. If it's a personality, it's a different issue. But if it's
Yeah,
only for your getting a project done, getting a task done,
yeah.
so question, ask, try to evaluate very, very objectively at your workplace. And it may not be easy, but we all have to keep repeatedly doing that.
So well said, because as we said, a lot of women also complain that for them, competence and likability, they don't go hand in hand. Because if they are to be liked, they can't be competent.
Yes,
And competent women are
yes,
not mostly liked. So this is a problem. And I think apart from what you've like also said, apart from being just having awareness about this issue or just fixing women, we also need to make societal changes, go into the depth of it as to why is it occurring again and again, and
yes,
how so in so many centuries we've not been able to address this problem, and we don't seem to be addressing it in the coming centuries as well. So as a societal, what are the societal constraints that are giving birth to this issue? And it starts from the very childhood,
yeah,
right? How a person
very
is
true.
conditioned, how the values are embedded, and the norms that are taught to us. So that's how it starts. And I think we need to address to the root cause of the problem rather than just looking at the problem and say thinking at a very myopic level. Let's see the bigger picture and a broader perspective.
Correct,
Yeah,
very true.
wonderful.
In fact, we spoke about childhood and we are talking about kindergarten, but it just reminds me that when my daughter was born in the hospital, they said they bring the child out with a pink bow. And if it's a girl, and if it's a boy, so it
Yeah,
starts very, very early.
it
Before
starts
that,
from
the
there.
baby clothes,
Absolutely.
pink and
Yeah, it
blue.
starts
You
from the
see?
maternity ward. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And I remember a friend
Yeah.
of mine, she was about to have a child and she said, I'm just going to buy yellow because I'm not going to get into this biases from the beginning of blue or pink, which is so true.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly.
so, Bhavna, the next question for me is would you give some tips or three actionable steps for women to take to deal with gender bias at work? What should be their three takeaways today from this session, which will make them, stronger to face these issues when they face, as and when they face?
Um, Before I talk about women in general, I have unsolicited tip for you that you need to keep doing what you're doing. It's a fantastic initiative that you have started, and I have a great mark of respect for you for taking it up. It's like you have done, you've achieved you've got your stars, you've been in Limca Book of Records. So if you don't speak, then who will? And when successful women speak, people listen. So I would request you to keep talking more and more about it, no matter who's listening, but you need to keep doing this continuously till you see some success.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Bhavna. This coming from you is really so inspiring and encouraging for me. Thanks a ton. Thank you.
yeah, gone are the days where people thought that there's only room for one woman.
Yeah,
Now that
yeah,
we can
absolutely.
expand the table, we can make the table bigger. So for all the women
Absolutely.
who are out there in the corporate world, Number one, keep investing in yourself. You
That's so
need to
important.
keep,
Absolutely.
very important, you have to stay
Yes.
relevant in today's time.
Yes.
So keep
Yes.
keep skilling, reskilling, upgrading, go for training sessions, ask for your organization to provide them. If they don't, it doesn't matter, it's a great investment for your own self. So you must find time for yourself. Number two, collaborate with other women. There are so many initiatives. I've already spoken about your own initiative, but there are many such initiatives taken up by women. In fact, Dr. Harbeen Arora, she is doing a fantastic job. She has made a global phenomena and she has a target of bringing millions of women together. So there are many,
Hmm.
many women out there who are taking up such initiatives. So collaborate with them. Like I'm telling you, those are all old school thoughts that women don't get along with women and they don't let other women come up. There may be some instances here and there, but that those rare offs are everywhere. Like if one doctor is caught in a kidney scandal, we don't say all doctors are bad. If one chartered accountant is caught in some kind of financial mess, doesn't mean all chartered accountants are
Yeah.
bad. So similarly,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
somewhere they may have faced some biases or problems by women that should not keep them away from collaborating with other women. Times are changing
Absolutely.
and women are becoming more and more supportive and helping each other. And lastly, it's not about numbers, it's about the impact that we are making. So it's not about the numbers that how many more are together or how many women are there in this field or that field. The impact that we can make collaboratively together, that is of great importance. And the ones who are already working in corporate areas, I have a friend who is a great employee engager.
Hmm.
And we were discussing just last week, and he said all these employees should be judged on their behaviors, but for employee engagers, workplace behavior can be broadly categorized in three buckets. So, first of all, keep investing in yourself, upgrade your knowledge, to collaborate with other women, and three, try to see this behavior, evaluate this behavior at your workplace. Any kind of male interaction can be easily put in three buckets:
Yeah.
acceptable,
Okay.
borderline or caution,
Okay.
and last one, absolute no no. There's a
Yes.
whole big list done by POSH, Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace,
Yes.
Prevention, Prohibition, and Readdressal of Issues. So these are the issues that may keep women away from, going ahead. Like the CBSE results are just out last week or 2 weeks back. CBSE results, and every time if you see ICSE results coming out from school, we are seeing a fair number of girls and boys coming out from school. After graduation, also, numbers are still good over there. In fact, women are doing better in education after enter
Better. Yeah.
schooling. And yes,
Absolutely.
but
Yes.
when they enter the corporate field, now we see the numbers dropping. As they go to mid management, numbers are further dropping. And as we go higher, you quoted some numbers for CEO and top CEO positions in Fortune 500. So
You know,
after getting the
this is
education,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
please
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah. No. No.
No,
No. No.
somewhere something is happening in between years, so we need to
Yes.
understand and
Absolutely.
address this part.
It happens after the middle management, like you said. Till middle management is an issue. After middle
Yeah,
management, it just becomes a pyramid, and it becomes very very steep, especially for women, and equally challenging for them to reach the higher levels.
yeah,
So like you
and
beautifully said, upgrade, collaborate, and distinguish. And you should
yes,
know the limit. You should know
yeah,
where to draw the line as women. And most of us, it also depends on how our behavior is, right? What norms are
yes,
we setting, and where are the boundaries that we set for ourselves? But a
correct,
lot of times, Bhavna, the problems comes with unconscious bias, because this exists with people who are the best of the humans. They
yes,
have this problem because they themselves don't realize, because they're working within the gambit of this, and their behaviors, their patterns, they that's how they reflect, and that is a cause. So probably we women should not take it very personally when that happens. And in
Yeah.
fact, we should empathize with people who are a victim of unconscious bias. And to
Yes.
do that, we need to constantly keep upgrading ourselves, have mentors, have
Yes.
coaches, have,
Have
right, people,
mentors.
have your fallback person, the person you can fall back to, one person in your
True.
life. Yeah, you can
Yes.
fall back to when you come across situations and crisis, you need help and advice. So
Very true.
that's really, really important, especially for women. And what more if you have a woman for you, you can fall
Yes.
back
Very true.
on a woman than anybody else. And I think that
Very
really
true.
becomes, yeah. So that will take you to the next level. And because we cannot wait for the mindset to change, can we, Bhavna? 2 centuries is going to take.
That's a long, long time. And we can't see
Yeah.
you and me talking today. We're not going to solve the century old problem, and which we don't see it coming up very soon. So that's why I said you have to keep doing this again and again. You will have to.
Yes.
And number two, despite your show being the successful women, do not limit to only women. Call men too. Why should we keep our limitation? Though we are supporting women, you may be
Absolutely.
mentoring women,
Absolutely.
but like a trailblazer, keep your ideas mind open, except from wherever it comes from, coming from man, coming from woman, coming from LGBT, everyone. It's good minds, good thoughts, good ideas that we're looking for. So let's be open, let's collaborate, and let's help each other.
Yes, and that's going to be the strength, right? When like-minded people collaborate for a good cause, for
Very
strengthening
true.
each other up, and that is what takes you through and sails you through all the issues that you face throughout your journey, which is so well said, Bhavna. And thank you so much for being on the show. I think I have not done talking with you. There's so many questions, more questions I need to ask, and it's such lovely messages you've given. You've been so inspirational to everybody, including me. And I'm getting a lot of good messages. They want to thank you. They want to give you hugs. Somebody sending loads of love, and somebody saying, "Yes, she's amazing. What an inspiration!" So great to have you, Bhavna. It's really a wonderful. I mean, for me, my first. By the way, this is my first inspirational series on the Facebook,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, I've been there on. We've done it on Instagram, and the moment
Mhm.
that we've started the initiative, the Successful Woman is just about 3 months old, and we're getting a lot of good response, collaborating with like-minded women, basically taking them who are actually very keen to get into the transformation and growth or to the next level.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's how we want to take them through this journey, so that they can be the whole of who they should be, right, in life, reaching their full potential. So,
Yes.
and it's so good to have women like you with us, Bhavna, because it really makes that difference. And we can, the synergy is so strong when women collaborate. So,
Namrata,
so
so we are on the maiden show. So I am really privileged, humbled to be on your maiden show today on Facebook. And I wish you
yes,
grand success because this is something was much needed. So any kind of support, any kind of, we're always there. We're all in this together, and it can't be like a one person's job. So it's get as much as you can, and we're all there to support you, hold your hand, and wish you best. This is great, and I wish you all the best to you and all our viewers today.
thank you, Bhavna. Thank you. And thank you so much, viewers, for being there, for being so patient, and such lovely audience for sending so many messages, for your emojis and hearts, and for liking this show. And we hope to come back with more pressing issues. And I would request you to send your suggestions on what are the issues, what are your pain points you want us to address. And it'll be really great if you can do that and press the tag button, write in your comments, and we will surely come back with more such issues. So thank you very
Namrata,
much
I
for
have
being there.
Namrata, I have a
Yes,
question for
yes,
you. This is going to be a
yes,
weekly show. Will it? Because I will also slot my time to watch you every week. Then this is a weekly or
yes,
monthly?
yes, Bhavna. We plan to have it every week,
Oh,
this show.
fantastic!
So
Let
yes,
us know.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
same time.
alongside Joanna James, who's my partner in this initiative, we would be conducting alternative shows. Some shows she would be conducting, and some I would be conducting. But from our audience, definitely we would like to know what is it that bothers them. What is it? that is stopping them, making them stuck in life. They just want to let go of that so that we can talk more on those issues, right? And they can resonate and relate with them. So this is the idea. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you, audience. Thank you, wonderful viewers, for your patience and your time. And love you all. Stay safe, stay happy, and see you soon again. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Namrata. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.